Speaks Honest Words by Doreen Raptor.
I am Jedrick as narrator 1.
I am Lucas as narrator 3.
I am Abraham Lincoln as Shantez. I am Shantez as Abraham Lincoln.
I am Dahlia as narrator 4.
I am Chris as narrator 5.
I am Christian as narrator 2.
I'm Adrian and I'm narrator 2.
In the slave state of Kentucky, deep in the wilderness, young Abraham learned to hunt for nuts and currants and fish for trout and bass and tend to soil and seed.
He learned sorrow at age 9 when his mama died, but he found great joy with the loving stepmother who encouraged him to read and learn.
Abraham Lincoln is my name, and with my plan I want to say I will both in haste and speed and left hand here for 14.
The family moved deeper into the wilderness to the free state of Indiana. Panther screams and prowling bears filled Abraham's nights with fear.
He had just a mite of schooling, yet he loved the words his papa, a master storyteller, did. He stuffed books inside his shirt. In between splitting wood and plowing, he stood in the field and read. He read some books so many times he knew whole parts by heart.
The thing I want to know in books. My best friend is the man who will give me when I am there.
Mother moved to New Salem, a village in Illinois. The long, lanky boy was a man now. He ferried people and goods down the Ohio and Mississippi rivers.
In between the pull of the pole and the splash of the water, he listened to hunters spin tall tales of a mighty marksman, half man, half alligator, and sailors describe giant mosquitoes that could kill a man.
He heard lawyers tell how they use words to govern justice for ordinary folks. He heard preachers quote from the Bible, a house divided against itself cannot stand.
He stored these different voices in his heart and wove them into his own words.
The long, muddy Mississippi River brought Lincoln south to New Orleans.
He walked in cobblestone paths and along past flowers spilling over lengthy iron balconies. He saw men and women in fancy clothes, eating fancy foods and sipping wine. French, Spanish, and English words filled his ears.
But a hideous sight shattered his joy.
12 Negroes tied 6 and 6 together, stuck together like so many fish upon a travel line, being separated forever from their childhood, their friends, their fathers and mothers, and brothers and sisters, from their rising to their perpetual sleeping.
Lincoln worked at many jobs: farmhand, store owner, postmaster, surveyor, rail splitter.
Wherever, whatever, he always had a book in hand. Elocution, grammar, mathematics, biography, history, poetry, plays.
Upon the subject of education, I view it as the most important subject which we as people can be engaged in.
America was growing. Farmers needed new waterways and railroads to ship their crops. Everyone needed better education.
If he became a lawmaker, he could help people get these things. So he ran for the Illinois state lecture.
I am young and unknown to many of you. I was born and have ever remained in the most humble walks of life. I have no idea of popular leadership story.
He lost the election, but people liked what he said and how he said it.
He ran again. This time he won. He ran three more times and he won.
He became a lawyer. His clients praised him as Honest Old Abe, the lawyer who was never known to lie. He did not like the nickname Abe, but it stuck.
Resolve to be honest and all events if you cannot be an honest lawyer. Resolve to be honest without being a lawyer. Choose some other occupation.
Nearly 4 million black men, women, and children were enslaved in southern states. Lincoln thought slavery a great evil. If he become United States Senator, more people would hear him speak out against it.
In speech after speech, he reminded people people that slavery did not fit with ideals of the Declaration of Independence.
As a nation, we began to declare that all men are created equal. We now practically read, it's all men are created equal except Negroes.
He lost the election, but again his words got much attention. People felt like he spoke from his heart.
In the next 2 years, tension over slavery grew between the South and the North. Lincoln ran for president and spoke out against this evil practice. He won this election.
But a month before he took office, 7 southern states left the Union. They formed their own government with their own president. In his first inaugural address, Lincoln reminded the Americans that they were one people.
We are not enemies but friends. We must not be enemies.
On April 12, 1861, Southern troops attacked Fort Sumter, a federal fort in South Carolina. Lincoln knew he had no choice now. The North had to fight the South to bring it back into the Union.
I hope that the union of these states is perpetual. No state can lawfully get out of the union.
Families were torn apart as husbands, fathers, and sons went off to war, many never to return.
Many Northerners worried that Lincoln did not have the skills to lead the nation in this terrible time.
He's too backwards.
He's unpresidential.
He tells too many silly jokes.
He's had too little experience in government.
If I were to try to read much less innocence, all the tax made on me. This shop might as be closed for any other business. I do the very best I know how, the very best I can, and I mean to keep doing so until the end.
Lincoln believed that true liberty could not permit slavery. He decided to use his wartime powers as commander-in-chief to end slavery.
In the third year of the war, he issued the Emancipation Proclamation. It freed over 3 million black men, women, and children, and called for black men to join the Union Army.
And giving freedom to the slave, and show freedom to the free.
Most white Northerners opposed Lincoln's proclamation, but he stood firm.
I never in my life felt more certain that I was doing right than I do starting this week. My whole soul is in it.
The war dragged on Lincoln through sadder as more Americans died.
He went to the Gettysburg battlefield and again reminded the nation why these men had sacrificed their lives.
7 years ago, our father fought for this country. A new nation convinced in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
The Emancipation Proclamation had freed slaves only in the state's territories that were in the rebellion. Lincoln wanted slavery to end in the entire nation.
Most white lawmakers did not want this. He called them to the White House to convince them of what he knew was right.
The moment came when I felt that slavery was dead and that the nation might live.
Finally, they agreed.
In the fourth year of the war, victory seemed close for the North. But Lincoln felt no joy. Hundreds of thousands of men on both sides had died in battles. The country was deeply divided.
Many Northerners wanted to punish the South for starting the war. Southerners were furious that the Union Army had destroyed their cities, homes, and crops. Could the nation ever be one people again?
In his second inaugural address, Lincoln shared his vision of how the country could heal itself.
With balance toward none, with charity for all, with feminists and the right God, as God gives us to see the right. Let us strive on to finish the work we are and to line up the nation's rules.
The South finally surrendered. The job of healing the nation began, but Lincoln was not there to help. An assassin's bullet ended his life.
but his words were there to guide those who chose to remember.
It is for us to live in rather that we here highly resolve that these that should not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, for the people shall not perish on the earth.